Early in the morning, before the sun's rays have spread over the plateau of this historic town, is the busiest time of day for the photographer Lee. Nowadays, taking wedding photos here is a fad for many newlyweds. Here in this romantic atmosphere begins a brand new day for this town of over 800 years. Hidden deep in the mountains, this is the historic town of Lijiang. Surrounded by mountains and rivers, historic Lijiang is a forgotten ancient non-sea kingdom, and over the course of its long history, the Nasi people have enjoyed this land of happiness which nature has bestowed upon them, and it created a marvelous culture and art. Walking through here, you will discover that Lijiang is a flowing town whose ubiquitous flowing water is full of life. In its uniform-style buildings still lay hidden their unique ethnic art style. Having undergone 800 years of changing dynasty and flames of war, Lijiang has been preserved miraculously well, making it a historic town of China in a class of its own. On December 3rd, 1997, the UNESCO's World Heritage Committee unanimously approved the addition of the old town of Lijiang to the World Heritage List. Historic Lijiang is seated across mountain chain at the foot of Jade Dragon Snow Mountain, 2,400 meters above sea level. According to historical records, Lijiang was first built during the late Song to early Yuan dynasties, and it became the name Large Inkstone Town because, according to tradition, it looked like a big inkstone. The selection of the site for Lijiang took full advantage of the geographic environment and water resources of the Black Dragon Pool, the Golden Rainbow Mountain to the north, and the Lion Mountain to the west. Overall, Lijiang sits to the northwest and faces the southeast. The Lion Mountain blocks cold winds from the northwest in the winter. To the southeast is the far-flung Lijiang Dam, which welcomes the spring sun and drives out the summer heat. The buildings make use of the mountain rolling up in a cascade. Water is the soul of Lijiang, and wherever you walk in the old town, you can see the softly flowing water of the river. Gazing toward the north, one sees a Jade Dragon Snow Mountain towering high in the sky at an altitude of 5,596 meters. With unpredictable scenery, it is the nearest glacier. With unpredictable scenery, it is the nearest glacial snow peak to the equator in the northern hemisphere. The snow cover in the glacier, which stays frozen year-round, not only help achieve Lijiang's mystical natural landscape, but also serve as a huge natural reservoir and are the source of its flowing waters. The water from the mountain glacial snow peak and underground spring converge to make the 40,000 square meter Black Dragon Pool, referred to by the Nasi people as guluji, or water serving like herd of horses. Its water travels along the 15-kilometer Jade River, ending up at the old town and stretching to its every block.
中心的5条主要街道向四周蔓延开来。
The arrival of tourists has helped the old town welcome in its most flourishing time in 800 years. Many of those coming to Lijiang for the first time get lost in its streets, which are like a labyrinth, because it is quite different from other historic towns of China. It has no concept of a central axis, does not have a symmetrical layout, and has hardly any straight roads. So one loses his sense of direction in no time. Yet this is one of the many charms of the old town of Lijiang. The 3.8 square kilometer old town of Lijiang fully represents a people-centered building concept. The streets are built along the river, homes are created along the water, and the old town labyrinth-like streets come from these zigzagging waterways. Actually, before the Yuan dynasty, Lijiang's market was a dirt court, muddy in the rainy season and dusty in the dry season. Later, the people came up with a clever idea to excavate the Western River and use the topography of Western Highland and Eastern Lowland to artificially control the movement of the flagstone and at fixed intervals draw the water from the West River into the Middle River to wash the stone cobble street and keep the town clean. In the Qing dynasty, the East River was excavated and the water from the Middle River was drawn from the east into the old town. This way, 3 water paths enter the town, crossing the streets and alleyways and further dividing into many smaller channels, forming a dense spider web-like water system. The scenery of the water-filled Lijiang resembles China south of the lower reaches of the Yangtze River, thus gaining its name south of the Yangtze in the highlands. The people of Lijiang have had a special feeling towards water since the olden times. They see the source of the spring water as a dwelling place of the spirit of nature and strictly forbid polluting it. Now, most homes in the old town use running water, and many people still maintain the old custom of getting water from the river, strictly keeping to the rule their ancestors passed on to them. No washing of clothes or vegetables before 10 a.m. because that's the time people collect their drinking water. Lijiang is overflowing with river water, and even in the blocks far from the riverway, there are wells everywhere the eye can see. This well water is actually flowing out from underground springs. The wells are shallow, but water is abundant and flows ceaselessly. The traditional old town well springs are usually 3-eyed wells which were dug along the direction of the flow. The first pool is the source of the spring. Its water is clean and unpolluted and used especially for drinking. The second pool abuts the lower reaches of the headwaters. It's clean and used for cleaning vegetables. The third pool receives the water from the first 2 pools and is used for washing clothing and other things. The 3 pools are in series, each with their own use. If water is a trunk of the old town, bridges are its joints. In the small area of the old town, there are 76 public bridges of various types, with an average of 35 per every square kilometer. And if auxiliary bridges to people's homes are counted, then the number is countless, making the bridge density in Lijiang the top in the nation. Most of the bridges were made during the Ming Dynasty. Over hundreds of years, these old bridges have quietly guarded the town's waterways and the streets, and with the passing of time have turned old. At the end of the 13th century, the troops of Yuan Emperor Shizu attacked the Nazi and established a native chieftain system. From this time on, the old town became formally known as Lijiang. This dignified-looking mansion once belonged to the most powerful chieftains in the old town, the Mu family. The property covers 46 mu, about 30,680 square meters, with the central axis running 369 meters. The whole group of buildings sits west-facing east, welcoming the rising sun to receive its Mu character. The Mu Nazi chieftains assumed office of the highest local official in Lijiang from the Yuan dynasty through the Ming and Qing dynasties for a total of 22 generations over 470 years. Among the chieftains of the southwest, they were renowned for being well-educated and loyal. straightforward style of Central Plains architecture during the Tang and Song dynasties. Reputedly, it was also built in modern Beijing's Forbidden City. The layout of its western feet, facing east, the well-developed water channels, and continually flowing water, however, is the spirit of the traditional Nazi culture. Driven by the Mumansheng architecture style and borrowing ideas from the Han-style house architectural structure, Nazi homes are typically either 3-room, 1-screen wall or 4-room, 5-courtyard. The 3-room, 1-screen wall refers to a main room, left and right wing rooms, and a screen wall opposite the main room, making a courtyard in the center. The 4-room, 5-courtyards refers to a principal room, a servant's room, and left and right wing rooms, making a closed courtyard in the center, and aside from which there are 4 other courtyards or drainage rooms. The courtyard gateways in many Nazi homes have exquisite decorative carvings, and the courtyard floors are paved with cobblestone, earthenware tiles, or encaustic tiles. The windows of the front room usually have 6-leaved lattices and a carving in the center of a seasonal flower or some auspicious bird or beast. The veranda eaves in front of the main room are mostly rather wide, making a warm and cozy space for activity. At the center of Lijiang is a small plaza called Square Street. According to Nazi folk legend, Square Street was made to imitate and represent the shape of the Great Seal of the chieftain's power, symbolizing chieftain's power and authority over the whole town. Around Square Street, roads emanate in all directions, with a density like a spider web, forming a network of old streets. In addition to avoiding incursion of cold winds, the streets of the old town rarely are a straight throughway, and the wall corners are mostly circular arcs rather than right angles, making it easier for people and cattle to walk around. Dongba in the Nazi language means a sage, and is a title used for the master of ceremonies. Dongba writing is acclaimed as the last living ancient pictographs in the world and is still used by Nazi Dongba to write scripture, compositions, records, and correspondence. Nazi traditional music is a kind of classical music widely popular amongst the Nazi people and is praised as a living fossil of Chinese music. It is one of the oldest type of music circulated around the world today. Nazi traditional music originates from Taoist Dongjing music and the music of the royal court in the Tang and Song dynasties. Concretized in the Ming dynasty, there are different opinions on how it came to Lijiang. According to the Lijiang Gazetteer records, early in the Ming dynasty, the army of Lijiang chieftain Ajia Ado had been on a 3-month trek to Nanjing to call on the Emperor Zhu Yuanzhang, who was deeply touched and favored the chieftain with a famous instrument of the royal court, musical scores, and even musicians. Most of the members of the Nazi traditional music band are elder closer to 70 years of age, and the venerable elder is 89. Some of them are farmers, some are blacksmiths, some are teachers, and others are laborers or even accountants. They are all just average people who love music, but as soon as their individual outlooks on life melt away in the performance, the Nazi traditional music takes on a unique kind of charm. The old town of Lijiang is a traditional habitation of a minority nationality of great importance, Its existence provides a valuable resource for research on the history of human urban construction and the history of human ethnic development. It is a precious cultural legacy and a treasure of China and the world.